What if he's not reaching out because he's doing no contact too? What if this silence is his strategy, just like yours? You're sitting there questioning yourself, overthinking every little detail, waiting for that text, that call, that sign. Stop. Let me tell you something powerful this moment. This silence is not a setback, it's your setup for greatness. Here's what you need to do. You're sitting there, staring at your phone, waiting for something, anything, a message, a sign, a call. But what if I told you that waiting for someone to reach out isn't the answer? What if the silence that you're feeling is the universe telling you it's time to shift your focus? You've got to ask yourself, are you really going to sit there, letting time slip by, waiting for someone else to make the first move? Or are you going to take charge of your own life and focus on what matters most to you? This is not the time to be passive. This is not the time to sit back and wonder why they're not texting, not calling. That's a distraction. That's a waste of your energy. You've got to turn the spotlight back on yourself. It's time to ask, what can you do for you? What can you create? What can you achieve? You've got goals. You've got dreams. You've got something inside of you that the world needs to see. So why are you wasting your time waiting for someone else to give you permission to go after your greatness? I'm telling you right now, the moment you stop waiting for him to reach out, you'll start to unlock the power inside you that you didn't even know existed. Don't let anyone, not even the person you're thinking about, have that kind of hold over you. You've got something within you that can change the world, but it starts with you deciding that your time and your energy are worth more than waiting around for someone else. The moment you start focusing on your growth, on your development, you become unstoppable. You start to rise above the noise. It doesn't matter if he's silent. What matters is how loud you're going to get when you finally show up as the best version of yourself. Think about that for a second. When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday? When was the last time you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone? We're talking about growth, real, powerful, unstoppable growth. You've got to make the decision right now to stop waiting for things to change and start making changes yourself. You've got to start putting in the work. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to hand you the life you deserve. It's all on you. The same energy you're putting into wondering why he's not texting, why he's not calling, that's the same energy you can put into making yourself the best version of you. Start with your body. Start with your mind. Start with your spirit. If you're not working on yourself, then what are you doing? This is your life, your time. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. So stop wasting it. You need to understand something. Life doesn't wait for anyone. And if you're waiting for someone else to make your life better, you're going to be waiting a long time. You're waiting for them to text, for them to apologize, for them to change. But who's waiting for you? Who's working for you? Who's pushing you to be great? It's time to wake up and realize that no one is going to do it for you. The world is waiting for you to step up. And here's the truth. When you start focusing on your growth, the right people will take notice. The right opportunities will come your way. But you've got to be in motion for that to happen. The world can't find you if you're hiding behind your doubts, your fears, or waiting for someone to reach out. You've got to get out there. You've got to move. You've got to show the world that you're serious about your success. And let me tell you something, when you start putting yourself first, when you start investing in your growth, when you start waking up every day with a purpose and a fire in your heart, you won't even need to wait for him to make the first move. Because the people who see your power will be the ones coming after you. You have to make this decision to stop living in the past, to stop letting old habits and old wounds control your future. It's time to start moving forward with everything you've got. You have the power to change your life, to make your dreams a reality, but it starts with you. Right now. This moment. So don't sit there waiting. Don't sit there wishing things were different. Get up. Get moving. Start working on you. Build your body, your mind, your spirit. Stop focusing on the silence and start making noise with your success. When you start to do that, trust me, everything else will follow. When someone pulls away from you, when they step back and go silent, it's not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of them. And you've got to understand that. Too many times we find ourselves chasing after people who don't see our worth. We lower our standards, we compromise our values, all because we're hoping they'll come back. that they'll recognize what they've lost. But let me tell you something, if they walk away, let them. Because if they truly saw the greatness in you, they would never let you go in the first place. This is your moment. It's your time to recognize that your worth isn't determined by someone else's actions or decisions. You don't need someone else to validate your value. Your worth is already in you, and it's been in you from the moment you were born. No one can take that away from you, and if they choose to walk away from it, then it's time for you to realize that it's their loss, not yours. You've got to stop settling for less than you deserve. You are worthy of someone who will value you, who will respect you, who will see the power in you and want to build with you, not tear you down. When someone walks away from you, it's an opportunity for you to look at yourself and ask, am I really giving myself the love, respect, and value that I'm willing to give someone else? You've got to put yourself first. Because if you don't, no one else will. And when you do that, when you start to recognize your own worth and stop chasing after people who don't appreciate it, something powerful happens. You stop living in the past. You stop holding on to what could have been, and you start embracing what's meant to be. Because when you let go of the wrong people, you make space for the right ones to come into your life. It's not easy. I know. It's painful. It hurts when someone you care about walks away, especially when you've invested so much into that relationship. But listen to me, you're not defined by your past. You're not defined by the people who leave. You are defined by how you rise after they walk away. This is your time to stand up, to show the world that you are more than what they see. You are more than the person who is left behind. You are someone who is ready for greatness. And greatness doesn't come from waiting for someone else to come around. It comes from standing firm in your own strength, in your own power, and saying, I am enough. I am worthy. And I'm not waiting for anyone to tell me that. When you start to prioritize yourself, when you stop chasing after people who don't see your worth, the energy you put into that will come back to you tenfold. People will begin to see you differently. They will begin to see the value that you've always had. But you've got to see it first. And you've got to stop putting your worth in someone else's hands. If someone isn't treating you the way you deserve to be treated, then it's time to walk away. It's time to let them go, no matter how hard it is. Because the moment you do that, you start to open yourself up to the opportunities, the relationships, the experiences that are truly meant for you. The world is full of people who will value you. You don't have to chase after someone who can't see your value. Don't waste your time wondering why they're not texting or calling. That's not your concern anymore. Your concern is what you're going to do next. What are you going to build? What are you going to create? Because if you keep focusing on the ones who walk away, you'll miss out on the ones who are waiting to walk in. And let me tell you something. The ones who are meant for you, the ones who are truly aligned with your purpose, will see you for who you are the moment they meet you. They won't need time to figure it out. They won't walk away. And you won't have to chase them. So the next time someone pulls away, remember this, it's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can choose to let them go, or you can choose to chase them. But if you choose to chase them, you're telling yourself that you're not enough as you are. You're telling yourself that you need them to complete you. But let me tell you, you don't need anyone to complete you. You are whole just as you are. And the right people will see that. They will recognize your worth. And they will appreciate the greatness in you. So let them go. Let them walk away. Because when you do that, you're making room for something better. Something greater. Something that's meant for you. You can't hold on to the past forever. You can't keep looking over your shoulder at things that no longer serve you, no longer fit who you are becoming. The more you hold on to the past, the more it holds you back. You see, that's the problem. Too many of us are stuck in a cycle of regret, guilt, and what-ifs. We keep replaying the same mistakes, the same missed opportunities, and the same heartbreaks in our minds. But you've got to let that go. You've got to make a decision to move forward. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. Letting go of the past takes courage. It takes strength. It takes you looking at the things that hurt you, the things that have kept you down, and saying, that's not who I am anymore. You've got to stop identifying yourself with the pain you've been through. You've got to stop letting your past dictate who you are today. Because here's the thing, what happened to you, what they did to you, what you didn't get it, Doesn't define you unless you let it. You have the power to define your future, and it starts with letting go of the things that no longer serve you. You can't keep looking at the relationships that ended, the opportunities that passed you by, the dreams that you didn't chase because you were too scared. That's the past. And the past is just that, a memory. It's not your reality anymore. Your reality is right now. The future is still out there waiting for you. But you've got to let go of everything that's keeping you stuck in the past to get to it. You've got to let go of the things that weigh you down so you can rise. You can't keep dragging all that baggage with you. If you want to move forward, you've got to leave it behind. I know it's hard. I know it feels like you're giving up a piece of yourself when you let go of something you've held on to for so long. But that's the illusion, the idea that holding on to the past is somehow going to make you whole. It won't. It only holds you hostage. It only keeps you chained to a version of yourself that's no longer real. The person you were when that relationship ended, when that job fell through, when that dream was shattered, that's not the person you are now. And it's certainly not the person you are going to become. You've got to start seeing yourself as who you're meant to be, not who you used to be. You have to start recognizing that you're stronger now. You've been through pain, but you survived it. You've learned lessons from the things that went wrong, and now it's time to use those lessons to move forward. The person you were yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. You've got the power to change your life. But first, you have to let go of the past and make space for what's coming next. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean you erase the memories or the lessons. It just means that you stop letting those things control your life. It means you stop letting the mistakes of yesterday determine your actions today. It means you stop believing that your failures are your identity. You are not a failure. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. And when you let go of the past, when you finally set yourself free from the things that are holding you back, you'll see just how much strength you really have. You have the power to change the course of your life. But first, you've got to leave behind the things that are holding you in place. You've got to leave behind the resentment, the anger, the hurt, the fear. Those things don't belong in your future. They belong in the past, where they can no longer have any power over you. When you finally decide to let go of all of that, you make room for the possibilities of what's ahead. You make room for the things that are waiting for you, the people who will support you, the opportunities that will come your way when you finally step into the future with your eyes open, ready to embrace what's next. Letting go is about freedom. It's about stepping into your power, owning your life, and realizing that you don't need the past to be who you are. The past doesn't define you. You define you. And when you make the decision to let go, you are telling yourself that you are strong enough to move forward. You are telling yourself that you believe in the person you're becoming, and that the best is still ahead of you. But it's only going to come when you stop looking back. The moment you make that choice, the moment you say, I'm done with the past, that's when your future starts to unfold. And let me tell you, your future is going to be something special. But you can't see it if you keep your eyes glued to what's behind you. It's time to look forward. It's time to move on. It's time to let go. Trust the process. You've heard that before, but do you really understand what it means? It's easy to say, but so hard to live by, right? You're trying to control everything. You're trying to force things to happen when you want them to happen. You want to see the results right now. But here's the thing you need to understand: life doesn't always unfold the way you expect it to. And that's okay. The key is learning to trust the process. You want success? You want change? You want to see things move in the direction you've been dreaming about? Well, that's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take you sticking with it, even when things don't look the way you imagined they would. That's where the growth happens. It doesn't happen when everything is perfect. It happens when things are tough, when you're frustrated, when you're questioning everything, when you feel like you're not getting anywhere. That's when you need to dig in deep, trust yourself, and trust the journey. I know it's hard. I know you want answers. You want to know that everything you're doing will pay off. But sometimes you don't get that reassurance. Sometimes you don't know where you're going. Sometimes you don't even know why you're going through what you're going through. But that's the process. That's how it works. You don't always see the whole picture when you're in the middle of it. But you have to keep going. You have to keep putting in the work, even when the results don't show up the way you want them to. Trusting the process means having faith in yourself and in the path you've chosen, even when the road gets tough. It means understanding that every setback, every failure, every disappointment is a part of the bigger picture. It's all leading you somewhere. You might not see it yet, but I promise you it's leading you somewhere great. You just have to keep going. You have to believe that what you're doing is worth it, even if the progress is slow. So many people give up too soon. They give up right before the breakthrough. They quit just before things were about to turn around. You can't be one of those people. You can't be someone who throws in the towel because it's hard. You have to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. Trust that the struggle is part of the process. Trust that the hard days are molding you into the person you need to become. Trust that every challenge is making you stronger, building your resilience, and pushing you toward your goals. And here's the truth, you'll never know what you're truly capable of unless you push through the struggle. The best things in life don't come easy. The things that are worth having take time. They take effort. They take perseverance. And you're not going to get those things by rushing the process or by trying to shortcut your way to success. It doesn't work like that. You've got to put in the work. You've got to do the hard stuff. And you've got to trust that everything you're doing is leading you closer to what you're meant for. When you trust the process, you stop focusing so much on the outcome. It's not about the finish line. It's about the journey. It's about what you learn along the way. It's about the person you become while you're working toward your goals. Success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. And you won't become the person you're meant to be if you don't trust the journey, if you don't allow yourself to grow and evolve through every twist and turn. And here's the hardest part, you have to trust the process. Even when it doesn't make sense, you have to trust it when it seems like nothing is happening, when everything feels stuck. You've got to keep believing, even when there's no visible progress. Because let me tell you something, that's when the magic happens. That's when the breakthrough is coming. That's when the seeds you've been planting are starting to grow, even though you can't see it yet. You have to trust that everything is happening for a reason, even when you don't understand it. So keep going, keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and trust that, no matter how long it takes, the process is leading you exactly where you need to be. Your hard work will pay off. Your patience will be rewarded. And when you look back, you'll realize that all the struggles, all the setbacks, all the moments of doubt were part of the journey that made you who you are today. Trust that it's all worth it, because it is. Keep moving forward and trust the process. You've got to build your confidence. You've got to recognize that no one else can give that to you. It's not something you can wait for. You can't sit around hoping that one day you'll just feel good enough, that one day you'll wake up with all the confidence you need to go after your dreams. It doesn't work like that. Confidence is built, and it's built through action. It's built by showing up, by doing the work, by facing fear and doubt head on, and deciding every day that you're going to keep going, no matter what. You've got to understand that confidence is not about having all the answers. It's not about being perfect. It's not about pretending like you've got it all together. Confidence comes from knowing that you are capable, even when things aren't perfect. It's about trusting yourself, trusting that you can figure things out, trusting that no matter how many times you fall, you can get back up again. Confidence comes from the belief that you are enough just as you are. You don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to meet anyone else's expectations. All you need to do is show up as your true, authentic self and believe that that's enough. But here's the thing, you're not going to get there by staying in your comfort zone. Confidence isn't built by staying in the same place, doing the same things, never taking risks, never challenging yourself. No, it's built by stepping out, by taking action even when you're scared. It's built by pushing yourself to try things you've never tried before, by going after goals that seem impossible, by being willing to fail and then getting back up again. Every time you face fear, every time you challenge yourself, you get stronger. And with every step you take, with every victory, big or small, your confidence grows. You've got to realize that confidence doesn't come from what other people say about you. It doesn't come from their validation. It doesn't come from their approval. You can't live your life trying to please everyone else, trying to get everyone else to see your worth. The truth is, some people will never see it. Some people will never believe in you. And that's fine, because your confidence doesn't come from them. It comes from you. It comes from knowing that you're doing your best, from knowing that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. When you start to believe in yourself, when you start to trust yourself, when you start to recognize your own value, that's when your confidence starts to take off. But here's the hard part: you've got to do the work. Confidence doesn't happen overnight. It's not something you can fake. It comes from putting in the effort, from showing up even when you don't feel like it, from sticking with it when things get tough. Confidence is built through perseverance, through the determination to keep going even when the road is hard. You've got to show up every single day, even when you feel like you're not enough, even when you feel like you're failing. Because let me tell you something, the most successful people, the most confident people, aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail and keep going. They're the ones who show up again and again, no matter what. You've got to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to be confident. You've got to stop waiting for the perfect moment, for the perfect situation, for everything to fall into place. You've got to start right now. You've got to start believing in yourself right now. You've got to start acting like the person you want to become, not waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. You are ready. You've always been ready, and it's time to show the world what you're capable of. You've got to realize that you are your own biggest supporter. No one is going to push you as hard as you can push yourself. No one is going to believe in you as much as you can believe in yourself. So stop waiting for external validation. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. The only person who needs to believe in you is you. You have everything you need inside of you. You have the strength. You have the strength. You have the ability. You have the drive. But it's all up to you to unlock it. And the way you unlock it is by showing up every day, by putting in the work, by taking risks, by facing your fears, and by believing in yourself when no one else does. Confidence is built through consistency. It's built through daily action. It's built through putting in the effort day after day, even when you don't feel like it. And over time, that effort pays off. The more you show up, the more you believe in yourself, the more you start to see your own power. You start to see that you are capable of far more than you ever thought possible. You start to realize that you are enough just as you are. And when you truly believe that, when you truly trust in yourself, nothing can stop you. You'll face setbacks. You'll face challenges. But with that confidence, with that belief in yourself, you'll keep pushing forward. You'll keep rising. And you'll keep winning. You have to understand, time is precious. You can't keep wasting it, waiting for something or someone to change. You can't keep waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect person. The truth is, those moments aren't going to come unless you make them happen. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, your doubts. Time keeps moving, and you have to decide whether you're going to move with it or let it pass you by. If you keep sitting on the sidelines, if you keep waiting for things to line up perfectly, you'll miss your chance. You've got to stop procrastinating. You've got to stop making excuses for why you're not moving forward. Every minute you waste is a minute you'll never get back. So what are you going to do with the time you have? Are you going to keep sitting on your hands, waiting for the right moment? Or are you going to take action now, today? You've got to make the most of every moment. You've got to get up and do something, anything, to move you closer to your goals. No more waiting. No more wondering. Just do it. I know it's not easy. I know it's hard to get started, to push past that fear of failure, to push through that self-doubt. But here's the thing, if you don't start now, if you don't take that first step, you're never going to get where you want to go. If you keep putting things off, if you keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll wait until things settle down, you'll be stuck in the same place, year after year, wondering why nothing has changed. You've got to realize that tomorrow is never guaranteed. You don't know what the future holds. So what are you waiting for? What's stopping you from taking action right now? The longer you wait, the harder it gets. You'll talk yourself out of it. You'll convince yourself that you don't have time, that it's too late, that you'll never be ready. But you're never going to be ready. You've got to take that first step, even when it doesn't feel perfect, even when you don't have all the answers. Because the truth is, you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. That's the key. Take that first step, and the rest will follow. You've got to stop being afraid of the unknown. You've got to stop being afraid of failing. Every successful person, Every person who has ever achieved greatness has failed. They've fallen down, they've made mistakes, they've been knocked back. But they didn't let that stop them. They didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel. They got back up, dusted themselves off, and kept going. And that's what you have to do. You've got to learn to embrace failure. You've got to understand that failure is not the end. It's just a part of the journey. And it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. That's what separates the winners from the losers. So, get started. Take that first step. Do it scared, do it unsure, but do it. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to move forward. Because if you wait until you have all the answers, you'll be waiting forever. You'll be waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, the right opportunity. But life doesn't wait for the right moment. Life is now. This moment. Right here, right now. And what you do with this moment is what's going to determine your future. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Don't wait for someone to tell you it's time. You've got to take control of your life. You've got to take action. And you've got to do it now. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt keep you stuck. Don't let the past control your future. Time is moving, whether you're ready or not. It's up to you whether you're going to step up and take control of your life or let time slip away. Don't waste it. Every second is valuable. Every second is an opportunity. So make the most of it. Take action today. Make that call. Take that step. Do what needs to be done. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop saying maybe tomorrow's not promised. Today is all you have, so take advantage of it. And if you fail, so what? Get up and try again. But don't you dare sit back and let time pass you by. You have a life to live, and it's time to live it. Time is precious, and you don't have a minute to waste.